Hi, I'm Ian for Top Music, and today I'm going to reveal the mysterious inner workings of RockOutLoud.live. We'll be exploring and uncovering some of its best features, many of which you've probably never even seen before. I recently hosted a test lesson with several volunteer teachers from around the world to demonstrate and explore this exciting new video conferencing platform dubbed the Zoom Killer. I especially wanted to see how it functions in a group lesson, and how its various features compare to Zoom meetings. There's a lot of mystery and confusion surrounding this platform, partially due to how new it is. So you'll likely see something today that will surprise or enlighten you. Mike Grande, the developer, has assured me that more support documentation is forthcoming. Meantime, consider today's video the most updated and definitive guide to all things roll. It's important to understand that the only way to access the RockOutLoud.live platform as a teacher is through Google Chrome as your browser. If you've never used Google Chrome before, you can download it for free. So if you're on a laptop or you're on a computer of any kind actually, so Chromebook, desktop, laptop, Mac, PC, whatever, they're all going to operate on Chrome browser. That's what we're going to use on a computer. It's not a program, it runs in your browser. Teachers will need to sign up for an account by navigating to RockOutLoud.live. You can choose between 3 different plans: the free teacher license, single teacher license, and the multi-instrument license. It should be noted that the single teacher license and the multi-instrument license are actually meant for one teacher. The single teacher license is for one teacher teaching one instrument, and the multi-instrument license is for one teacher teaching more than one instrument. A school plan or multi-teacher plan is not currently available on RockOutLoud.live. Similar to Zoom, the free plan will allow teachers to experience most of the main features of the platform with some limitations. But that's where the similarity ends. Unlike Zoom, there are no limitations on the time or the amount of students that can be hosted on the free teacher license. Instead, the main differences between the free plan and the paid plans have to do with having a custom URL and access to the more advanced features in RockOutLoud.live, like the searchable song library and chord templates for different instruments. We'll be covering these features in more detail later. If you're on one of the paid licenses, single teacher or multi-instrument, you can create a customized URL address so that your students can join your lesson room at the same web address every week. Creating this link is done in the My Room area of your account and can be changed or updated anytime. This is similar to the personal meeting ID that account holders receive when signing up for Zoom, except that you can customize the address. Once you've updated your teaching room ID, you can share the URL with your students in a couple different ways. Copy the URL from your My Account page and paste it into an email or calendar invite. If you're emailing the student, you can save some time by clicking the envelope icon next to the URL. This will open your default email program and automatically create a message ready to send to your student. This is the best method if you're wanting to set up a lesson in advance. You can also send the link to students from inside the virtual lesson room. This is useful for more impromptu meetings, or if you just need to remind a student of the address. Teachers on the free license do not have a custom URL. So the only option is to generate a new teaching room ID every time you log into your account. RockOutLoud will generate a new lesson ID number each time you start the lesson from your account dashboard. So teachers will need to send students the new link each time they log in. To me, this is the online equivalent of renting a new lesson space every day at a different physical location. I'll constantly need to update students on the new meeting place. And I'm not sure what benefits there are to this kind of setup. However, if you're a part-time teacher on a budget, I could see how this free license could still be attractive, especially with all the other benefits of this platform. More on those later. Students can access the virtual lesson room on either a computer using Google Chrome or on a mobile device by downloading the RockOutLoud.live app. If using a desktop, laptop, or Chromebook, access will be browser-based in Google Chrome only, just as it is for teachers. After teachers send the join link, students can simply click on the link or copy and paste it into the address bar of Google Chrome. They'll enter their name and click Join Room. The lesson ID is entered automatically and should match the last part of the URL address. Once students join the room, they will need to enable some permissions to allow Chrome to access their camera and microphone. Otherwise, you won't be able to see or hear them. If students are on a mobile device, they will first need to download the Rock Out Loud app for their device. The Rock Out Loud app is currently available for both iOS and Android devices. The app can be easily found in the iOS App Store and on Google Play by searching for Rock Out Loud. To join a lesson room, students will launch the app, enter their name and the room ID, then tap Join Room. Teachers using the free license will need to instruct students to enter the room ID number, including the dashes. Teachers on a paid license should instruct their students to enter the lesson ID only, not the full URL. If a student receives an email with the full URL link and clicks on it to join the lesson, their mobile browser will open first, prompting the student to either download or open the app. However, depending on your student's device, they may not see this prompt, or will be confused somewhat as to whether the app is opened or not. For this reason, I recommend that teachers only send their students the lesson ID, not the link. One last thing before we move on to look inside the lesson room. If the teacher has enabled any security features, such as the waiting room, also called lobby mode, or they protected the room with a password, students will see a pop-up dialog before being allowed to enter the room. We'll be covering how to set up this feature in more detail later, but suffice to say that students can easily send their teacher a request to join or enter the password they've been provided. In either case, it's a very straightforward process.
Hey, just before you go, make sure you click here to subscribe, and we've got thousands of other videos all on the topic of music education and teaching, so make sure you check out some of those other ones here, and I'll see you in the next video.